The heels of our K. Michelle video where she proclaimed that men are just really not good people, we are faced with October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And during this month, I will be pointing out some of the more subtle ways that men express violence towards women. In today's video, I want to go over a letter that was sent to me. I think she got it from Reddit, but I'm not positive. And it was so disturbing, and I want to go into the finer nuances of this kind of destruction of trust in a relationship and what it does long term. So the title of it is, my husband put his, you know what, I changed it to eggplant in my cup of water and he didn't tell me. So she writes, I'm deeply disturbed. The other night after sex, as my husband and I were getting up and dressed, I asked if he could grab me a glass of ice water. He was on his way out of the room and said sure. He wasn't angry about it and sex was fine. We were not fighting and had been having a pretty good week. As I walk into the kitchen, he handed me a glass of water. I don't know what came over me, but I got this sixth sense. I don't know how else to describe it. Maybe it was a shit-eating grin, but I flat out asked him, did you put your eggplant in this? He then says, how did you know? I was furious, but it was such a strange situation, so I dumped it out and brushed it off. I didn't know what else to do. But here's the thing. He didn't mean for me to find out. I asked him straight up, and he told me that he wasn't going to say anything. No harm done. That he thought it was funny, and that he didn't know why he did it. He just did. So to me, it wasn't done in a joking manner. To me, it was disgusting, disrespectful, and crossed the line. After thinking about it, it's more of a consent issue. The next day, I asked him why he did it, and then he again said, I don't know. I told him that it made me upset. It's like I can't trust him to get me a glass of water. It hurt my feelings. He immediately got defensive. We got into a big fight about trust, and he didn't understand what the big deal was. I said, so what, do you put my toothbrush in the toilet when we fight? He said, no, of course not. But he had that same shit-eating grin on his face. I don't know if he'd ever do that. Maybe it was just the way I phrased it, or that the fight was about him putting his eggplant in my glass of water. But like, what the fuck? We've been married almost 10 years. I'm 32 and he is 34. I don't know what to think. Am I overreacting? No, you are not. And let me explain why. You feel it, but you don't seem to be able to articulate it well because you're wrestling with the fact that this is the man that you married, that you love him, you thought that he loved you, and your understanding of what love is compassion and 100% reliability, trust, and integrity. In this case, your husband has none. Now, people will say, well, you know, it was just a little prank. It was a trick. No, it's not at all just anything. He did something very sneaky and devious behind her back. And it's one thing of, well, you know, people might compare it to say, well, you know, she might do, you know, put her mouth on him, you know, voluntarily, you know, as part of their lovey-doveyness routine. You know what I'm trying to say. And that's fine because that is with her full knowledge and consent. This was not her consent. He did it behind her back. He did it in a sneaky way, and he had no intention of telling her. So you can't really have a prank on somebody if they don't know that it's a prank. Don't you understand what that means? This was some devious, underhanded shit. So the main thing here that really bothers me is, if you can't trust your husband to get you a glass of water without doing some devious nonsense behind it, like he's a frat boy and 12 years old or something, then what else is he hiding from you and sneaking and doing behind your back? You see how this would go? That would open up a whole bag of just distrust where I wouldn't believe nothing that I didn't see him do with my own two eyes. In which case, what would happen then? Our marriage would end. It would be over. Because if I have to see you and I can't trust you to do what you're supposed to do and treat me with the respect and deference that I deserve to have as your wife or even just as a human being, why would I be married to you? See, this is where men get straight stupid. And you cannot treat a woman like that. What is wrong with you? And you think that's okay? And he had the nerve to get defensive? See, she was very nice. I have to say she was very nice because I would still be cussing him out as I was on my way to the divorce court. I'm not going to be married to a man that I can't trust. If I can't trust you with little stuff, I sure can't trust you with big stuff like guarding my heart, not cheating, all this kind of stuff. You think stuff like that where you are intentionally hurting me, giving me some weird ass bacteria or whatever whatever, you're putting that in my glass of water and I'm drinking it. It's going down into my digestive system. That's not necessarily where those things are supposed to go. Okay, so now she's going to have all kinds of internal problems drinking stuff like that, and you just going to think it's funny? You're hurting her by doing that kind of stuff to her. You're hurting her emotionally by doing things that are behind her back where she can't trust you. You're hurting her by playing what you think are some sneaky little frat boy tricks that injure her ability to fully trust you. You're hurting your marriage. You're stupid. So this is the kind of thing, you ladies, and I could see her confusion. And she said repeatedly, I didn't know what to do. I mean, who was prepared for a situation like that, really? You know what I mean? And the fact that he had the shit-eating grin on his face again when she asked about him ducking her toothbrush in the toilet. I mean, why would you even have a smirk on your face when someone says something like that to you? What is it that, that's a double message. His words are saying, no, I didn't, but his face is saying, yes, I did. So all in all, I don't know. She's been married for 10 years to an idiot. And this is going to eat away at her. This is going to eat away at their marriage. And she's going to be giving him the side eye from here on out. I don't see where this marriage is going to make it because his attitude is not right. If anything, he should have been apologizing profusely, saying, babe, I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never do anything like that to you again. Those are the words that he would have needed to say to fix this and to have some sincere, behavior behind the words. But all he did was get defensive and try to blow her off like it's no big deal and that she's wrong to be angry and upset about being treated that way. So this marriage, I don't know. This is not going to work. This marriage right here is not going to work. His attitude is all kinds of fucked up. And his wife is very, she's extremely upset right now. She's still processing her emotions. And the fact that, in the original letter, I didn't put all of it. She said that, people were commenting and that men were saying that it was just a practical joke or a prank. That's not a prank. When it's something that destroys your trust and spreads bacteria into someone's body against their will, that is not a prank. Okay, you're hurting that person and you think the shit's funny. And again, another example of why men are not good people. All the men agreed with this guy that this was funny and that it was just a prank and that she shouldn't be upset about it. Okay, so all of you who agreed with him, you're not good people either. There is no way in this world a man who was right about his behavior would have been telling these other dudes, you're wrong. You should have apologized to your wife and told her that you were stupid, that you'll never do anything like that to destroy her trust in you ever again. And, apologizing over and over and over again. That would have been the only way to fix this. But no, not one of them took that approach. They all got defensive and tried to justify their hurting her as being okay, that she needs to just accept it. No, what she needs to do is get a divorce. That's what she needs to do. And see, these are kind of things that men do to women. And then when the women leave them, they want to get on these groups, the 5-letter groups and all these other ones, and complain that were treated her well and and she left them for no reason. And she took all her stuff. No, you did that to yourself by being an ignorant buffoon. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this kind of thing. This is the kind of attitude that a lot of men have. They will slip drugs into girls' drinks at clubs and at parties and stuff, into their wives' drinks and whatnot. I mean, just because they want to slip out of the house or they want to take advantage of her against her will. So the mentality, as you are seeing, is the same. No matter if it's a dick in a glass of water or it's a Mickey, a roofie in a glass of drink, you're taking away that woman's free choice and free will about what goes on and into her own body. That is flat out fucking wrong. And you're not a good person if you think that's okay. This is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com, finishing out the 7-minute lesson on life and love on men who do underhanded, sneaky, backstabbing, passive aggressive things to women. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye bye.